here we go. Make sure everything's working here and see that everything is live like it should be. There we go. We're transitioning. So it looks like it's working on there. See if it's working over here on Facebook. If not, we'll get a link into the YouTube. I'm trying out a new software, Restream. Haven't used it before, so there can be some technical difficulties probably in the beginning here, but that's all right. So I want to welcome everybody to the channel, and we're going to do this morning. We're going to do an audit on a website, new company. This website's brand new, and they haven't been going very long. The company's been out for a while, but the website hasn't been going very long at all. So all that being said, they contacted us, and I want to tell, if you're an SEO guy and you're watching this, all these tools and things that I show you today, you're going to be able to, you can contact me in reference to them, and I can get you set up to be able to use these tools. And then for all the businesses, there are certain tools in this tool stack that I'll say that, you know, this is who we're really talking to. So most everything that you see today is something that we offer to you as a service as well. And there's some tools that you won't want because they're more for the SEO guy. So that being said, if you think you're going to like videos like this and you know, want to kind of get in and learn a little bit of SEO and learn how to market your own business, or even learn how to market another business, you know, make sure to go in and subscribe to the channel, because I am planning on doing these pretty much on a weekly basis. So like I said, you know, don't forget to go ahead and hit that, you know, wonderful like and subscribe, and so that way you can be notified every time I put out a new video. All right, so let's get into it. AIT Mechanical is a AC company. They contacted me. We actually met at a public local event here, and the guy kind of asked me what I did, and we talked, and he said, well, I'm interested in you know, maybe doing something and mainly finding out what his website's doing, what it needs to be done. So I want to go ahead and give a shout out to them and thank them for allowing us to use their company for this audit. Next week we're going to be doing a cabinetry company, so make sure to tune in with that. So let's get into it. No more talking about everything else. Let's get into it. So what we do is we have an audit that you go in and you fill out on our website, and I'll have that link in below. And all the tools, almost everything we have, will be linked in the description at the end of the video when we get done. So we have an audit, and when they go into that audit, what they do is the company, or you as a self, you'll fill out and make sure you fill that audit out as completely as possible. So that way we get some good data in reference to what your site's actually doing. We get some people that just kind of halfway fill it out, or they rush through it, and at the end of the day, we really don't have a clue. We don't have enough data, so these reports aren't any good. So with AIT Mechanical, right off the bat, we see here, this is our own snapshot tool that we utilize. And we like this ABCDF grade point system because as a whole, we're kind of used to that, you know, especially us in the United States. We know what an A is, we know what a B is, and so on. So in the audit, which is what we're going to go through right off, you know, is just we're going to go through this audit. Right off the bat, we see that you know, they have a C in listings. And we're going to see a little bit here in a minute why that is, but you can see that we have some incorrect addresses in that out there on the web in reference to this business. And you can see here they're not in Newstar, they're not in Factual, they're not in Data Axle. These three are the main aggregators. So they're the ones that you put them in there, and all these other, like OnStar, BMW Map, all of that stuff goes out and will grab data from these aggregators, and they'll help you, get that listing correct where it's supposed to be, and all the data and information correct. So real quick, why is that listing presence important? A listing is, to me, and I try to put things in a little bit of a layman's term in a way, but to me, those listings are also kind of known as citations. And what they do is they give you what I call street cred. And, without street cred, if you walk up to Billy out on the street and you tell him you're a whatever, the best heating and air company in the world, Billy's not going to really believe you right off the bat. So Billy's going to say, oh, yeah, that's great. And he's going to go talk to this guy, and he's going to talk to this guy and talk to this guy if he's interested. And finally, this guy, all these people are going to say, yeah, AIT Mechanical, they're the best heating and air company in the city. So now Billy has some street cred, data that gives you street cred on whether you're actually good or not. So what these listings do is they give you street cred to Google. Google is Billy. And there are other, don't give me, you want to be street cred in Yahoo and all those others, but at the end of the day, we all want to rank on that first page, if not number one, on Google. So we're trying to make Google think that we are who we are. So these listings give Google that street cred. So we want to make sure that listings are accurate right off the bat. If the listings aren't accurate, we've got a problem. So we can go in here and you can see this is another one of our snapshots that covers nothing but those listings. And you can see, we're not doing, the score ain't real great. We only got a 7%. We want to see at least 80% on this, okay? You can see here we have this list of Yelp, Google, all of these directories that you can be on, and there are more. But these are some of the main ones that will really get you going. And as you can see, Google's confused. Google thinks this address is attached to this company. And although it is, AIT Mechanical is a sister company, from my understanding, to AIT Life Safety. And so what we're going to discuss with them is separating that, and maybe giving an A or a B address, and getting a separate phone number for the heating and air company. That way they stand on their own and Google doesn't get confused about who is who. So going forward, so as you can see here, Google doesn't understand because the name with this address and phone number is different. Bing doesn't understand because, again, the name is different. Local.com, as you can see, they're not in Foursquare, they're not on Show Me Local, they're not in all of these Brown Book, they're not on any of these. And so we need to get that cleaned up. And there are a lot of services, there are a lot of services out there that can handle this for you. We offer a service that's pretty well automated. It's called Elysium List. And what Elysium List does is it connects you, it gives you the ability to go in and manipulate all the your listings throughout everything. I apologize, I get a little brain froze every once in a while there. But we have a Elysium List, and what that will, and then we have another product that will put you with all the aggregators. So those three aggregators that we were talking about here, it'll put you in those, and it'll also and so therefore this list will get eliminated. This list of right here, this list of missing and bad data, all our Elysium List product will take care of that. Or you can go in and if you get an audit done from us, you can go in and manually change every single one of these. And that's one way of handling it. It's a slow process, a very slow process, because you got to go through each one, you got to wait for an email, and so on and so forth, where our tool will handle all that for you. So that's your listing aspect, and we've got to get those listings looking good. So the first thing, AIT Mechanical, the first thing I say, if anything, this is where you need to start if you don't do anything else. Now, reviews, they're doing okay. Excuse me, I'm going to drink a coffee here. They got a B rating on it. As you can see, they only have 3 reviews and what have you. So we want to get those reviews up. We want to get those high. I mean, as you can see, the industry average here is 0, but the industry leaders is 155. You go and look at Orlando, and you go into the maps here. You can see, like, this guy's number 1. He's got 130 reviews. Some of these guys have hardly any, and then some of them got 470, 76. So one of the things that we want to do is get those reviews going. That's going to help. What the reviews and these listings do is they help build that GMB, your Google My Business, and help push that ranking up. So that way, whenever somebody Googles, per se, Orlando AC Repair, we get your company up here in the top of that map pack. That's one of the things that helps do that. Now, we have a tool, again, to help manage that as well, and it's our review tool. I'm not going to go into deep detail about these tools. I have videos about those that you can go and watch. But you connect your Facebook and your Google with it, and you handle your reviews. You can manage them all from one platform right here. Again, not going to spend a whole lot of time on the tools, but just want to let you know we do have this tool available if that's something you're interested in. Otherwise, on reviews, you need to get on all the review sites and make sure that you are going through and responding to those reviews and getting them. So, when you go out and you do a job, ask them. Be that bold. Ask them. Would you mind going in and giving us a review? Our tool stack for this will send out text messages and emails and things like that to get the reviews, but you can do them manually as well. Just sit down, type up, and get their email address. Used to be get their phone number or their physical address, but get that email address and send them an email and ask them to do that review, and send it to them a few times. Not all, in 1, 2, 3, but we in our software have a drip campaign that kind of drips it out over a week. But we got to get these reviews up. Okay. Social, again, we need to work on social. You're not found on Twitter or Instagram whatsoever, as you can see. We're found on Facebook, but we're not doing a whole lot there. So social is a very, very important tool in anybody's marketing strategy. You need to have those social signals. So understand, I'm going to go back up here. I just want you to kind of understand something. These listings that we've talked about, the reviews that we've talked about, the social what we talk about, those all are going to point and help boost your website as well. And it's going to help boost your GMB as well, because when Google looks out there and sees that you're here and you're here and you're here and you're here, again, you're creating street cred. And Google's like, man, this guy's popular. So we want to make you popular as we can all over the web. So we got to get these things taken care of. We got to, again, there are many tools. We offer a tool that simplifies this, and I'll go ahead and quickly show you it. Is our social tool, and it's similar to products like Hootsuite or there's some others out there, but the social tool, sorry my internet's a little bit slow, but the social tool here, we'll be able to see, you can post on all of your platforms, Google My Business, everything. You can connect them all, you can do your posting on them, and that way you can do it all from one place, one platform, simplify it. And again, I want to go ahead and, again, not trying to keep plugging my product at the end of the day, but as you can tell, all of this is in our business app. So if you're using us as an SEO, we offer this to you as well as offer to your clients. But if you're using us as a client, that's one of the key factors that why we built it the way we have, and why we kind of feel that we shine above some of the other SEOs, is you can handle all of your marketing right here. just by using our tools. And again, we can go through and show you how to manually do this, or we can go through and set you up on our listing tool and have it handle it, our social tool and have it handle it. But going back to the audit here, we've got to get those social signals up and moving, so we can push the website to the top where we want to go. And the thing is, we did a test a while back, and sorry, I'm going to kind of babble a little bit at times, but we did a test a while back where we built everything, Facebook, we did all the socials, and that was it. So we got on all the social platforms, Yelp and what have you, and we marketed a company as a case study, and we were able to get some of those #1 rankings for keywords that people do search or what have you, but they weren't really able to stick on their own. Now, when we put a website in front of it, the same strategy that we used to build that other side, which is what we're talking about on the social signals, pushing that website up, Google liked it a whole lot more. So although you can do good business on Facebook and all the other and Instagram and YouTube and with your GMB alone, we're not talking about doing good business. We're talking about getting that phone to ring off the hook to where we get to expand and be the AIT, the heating air company of the United States, or however large you want to go. So, but we want to dominate the niches in the local areas that we want to be in. So going through the audit a little bit further here, you can see on the website, we're not scoring real well there. Again, with this audit, you can give it to your web guy, or you can have us take care of it. But you can see that there are some issues here that need to be resolved. And again, the importance with this particular client, they're utilizing Squarespace, I believe is what it is. And, we're kind of advising them to go, we prefer using WordPress, because to me, WordPress just has more power, has more flexibility, and more abilities to fix a lot of these issues that we're seeing. So, as you can see, it's got some speed issues that we need to deal with and what have you. Some latency issues, the web font's not loading correct. So we need to kind of get those things straightened out. Again, you can take this audit that we've already sent you, you can take this audit and give it to your web guy and say, hey, we need this fixed, and he normally can go in and resolve all those issues. Now then, on that homepage content, looking really well. We got the NAP, the things that we want, name, address, and phone number. The size of it's, not too large whatsoever. Again, as it says, no Twitter's found. So we need to make sure, and it's crazy that, we have Instagram here, but when we look up here in the social, people can't find it. So we need to make sure we fix that by, posting stuff to Instagram to get that going. Twitter's not found at all. I'll be honest, I struggle with Twitter myself. It's one of those platforms that's not my favorite, but we've got to get on there and kind of do a little bit of stuff. Let me tilt my camera. I apologize there. Looks like you're looking at the top of my head all the time. But all in all, it's looking pretty good. Video on the homepage, big thing. And the cool thing about this is what we can do is we can SEO out a video in reference to your business. So, and we'll get into that in a minute. But we can SEO out a video in reference to your business, put it on the homepage, and as it ranks on YouTube and other platforms that we put it on, it's going to help that homepage gain what's called domain authority, and also help boost the rankings on it as well. So a video on pages that you're really concerned about ranking, man, critical in my opinion, extremely critical. And going a little bit in about that video, I see a lot of companies, they have a ton of video content, and they're like, and then they give up. And I ask them, why'd you give up? Well, we weren't getting any views. Well, because whenever you look below that video, they'll only have 1 or 2 lines about that video. that content inside of that video has to be optimized for YouTube search engines. Google owns YouTube, and they are setting up the analytics, the algorithm, all of that the same in YouTube. So we got to make sure we don't have just an amazing video, but we got to make sure that we have content that's optimized within that. And then, of course, the likes and the views come in. E-commerce fits some companies, doesn't fit others. So this is kind of a grade with y'all, with AIT Mechanical and Heating Air companies. It's not something that I'm really concerned about on the e-commerce aspect of it. There are some products that I think we could look at that we can sell and kind of help on that e-commerce side, because Google likes stores a little bit, but you're not going to find many e-commerce heating and air companies. So this aspect of it really doesn't matter, in my opinion. Advertising. Now, there are some, things that we can do on the advertising. That's when they're talking about advertising, we're talking about Google Ads. When I looked at this particular client, what they're wanting calls for, okay, and then what the ROI is on that, we'll look at that in a little bit. I just didn't see right now that it's practical financially. Doesn't matter how much budget, the ROI, at the end of the day, we've got to look at what that return is, and there wasn't enough money in it at the end of the day for me to say, yeah, we need to do pay-per-click. There wasn't enough. Now, there are some things that we can maybe do on social media with this particular client, and more of a retargeting type strategy. But just a pay-per-click Google ad, I'm not seeing it for their need. Don't get me wrong. Pay-per-click is great in certain niches, certain companies, the way they're trying to target. If they're just trying to get their name out there or what have you, it's okay for that, for branding. But in this particular instance, again, I don't want to beat that to death, but it's not a fit. So this is where we're at SEO-wise. We got an F. Again, brand new site, not much going on, as we can see. So that's why they came to me, so that maybe we can get this fixed. And this is where we're going to get into. This is what we're going to look at. So like I said, all of these other aspects. Now, ads, don't get me wrong, that will help your SEO some. But all these other aspects, the homepage content, the speed, the mobile abilities of the website, your social signals, your reviews, your listing, all of those things bring you down to this point, to where this is where all of those others are going to help improve this grade. So that all being said, let's get into this one here. Okay, so whenever I started talking with Chris, and it's funny, he's a Chris and I'm a Chris, and I picked up another client that we've been talking to, and he's a Chris as well. There's just a lot of Chris's. Maybe we're going to have to change the company to the Power of the Chris's or something. I don't know. Anyhow, so we know that they're an AC repair company. And first thing I did is I asked him, what his service areas are. And this is what you're going to want to look at as well. You're going to want to look at your service areas and then kind of start doing your research. So we know that he wants to be in Orlando. That's one of his main service areas. We know that he wants to be in the Winter Park area. We know that he wants to be in the College Park area. So I started doing a little bit of digging. And I just went to Google and I started searching. And like right here, I got it pulled up. I started searching and I started saying, okay, who's the competition? And Del Air, this company here, was showing up a lot. Whenever I see a Yelp, just go ahead and tell you, for anybody, when you see a Yelp, just skip by it. Don't even look at it. We're looking at brands, companies in town, not Home Advisor, because this is who they're trying to get away from. So we look at these brands and these companies, and we do an audit, and it's called a content gap audit. And what we'll do is we'll put each one of those companies in here, and then we'll do a show the keywords. Now, once we show the keywords, we then kind of do a little bit of a deep dive and find keywords that we think that, for one, everybody's ranking for. When you go in there and you do that, you're going to want to put to where at least 2 people are ranking in the top 10. And if they're not, then we're not even worried about those keywords. And then we're going to look for those low-hanging fruit. So I'm going to go ahead and just kind of show you what we cherry-picked out of it. And as we go, we'll kind of see some of those other reports. So we found, while doing the digging, that AC Repair Orlando is a key phrase, keyword that we want to rank for. That keyword is getting around 450 search volume per month, which is great for a local marketing niche. If you're doing affiliate marketing or something like that, you kind of want those numbers a little larger. But for a local marketing niche, we're looking at about 450 clicks. And I usually I won't go for a key phrase that's below 100 clicks per month, 100 search volume per month. Because if I get below that, it's kind of not really worth the work in the beginning. All right, so now your difficulty. What that is it's basically Ahrefs, which is who I use. They go through, let me pull up my keywords here. And they go through here and they'll do a audit of what they think the difficulty is going to be. And they rank that by looking at things like this. If that'll ever fetch. There we go. They'll look at the fact that, okay, this guy's got no backlinks, no domains are pointing toward him, but, what is his, domain authority? How strong of a website is he? And, as we see, it's got a domain rank of about 26. And so Ahrefs kind of goes through and they put their own little algorithm together. They look at how many keywords they rank, this website actually ranks for, and they just kind of make this calculated thing that I don't understand to the end of the degree, but I do understand that they tell me that it's about a 16. So basically what that means, if my website is at a 16 and I'm a good, powerhouse above 16, that I can go in here and write the piece of content in reference to this and pretty well most likely rank it. Okay, so we went through, like I said, we picked out these keywords to go for. So let's look at AC Repair Orlando. When we look at AC Repair Orlando, who's my competition for it? And again, guys, for the SEO guys, I can show you how to make these spreadsheets. I'm actually in the process of working for building a tool that will do all this for me. But so we go in, like I said, we look at AC Repair Orlando here. And when we look at this, we look at the fact that these are my top guys, okay? And I throw those over here in the spreadsheet. These are my top guys. And so these are the ones that I've got to go after. So for the SEO aspect, you want to kind of go through and look at how they built their site, what they did to rank that to number 1, okay? And we know it's going to take about 18 backlinks to be on that top 10. Now understand, that's not just backlinks, that's URLs. So you have to have a complete different domain. So I'm going to go ahead and explain that real quick. Doesn't mean that I can build a website, one website, and put 18 backlinks from it to your site and it's going to rank. It means we have to have 18 different websites pointing back. Okay? So that being said, a little bit of work needs to be done there, but not much. I think this is going to be a fairly easy word to push to the top. And the reason I say that is because we do see here that there's some people that don't have much backlinks to them. There's some that don't have a whole lot of domain authority. They are ranking for some keywords. So at the end of the day, I think that we can push up into this key phrase fairly easy. And you can see here that cost per, we got a search volume of 450 like that. The average clicks on that search is 280, so it's got a good click through. We see that 30% of the clicks are organic, so that's even better. And we see that cost per click is 45. Okay, and that's what all of these are. This is what this is telling us. Okay, so again, that we just go through each one and kind of look at what the other guy's doing, how are they doing it, and then sorry if I'm bouncing around too much, get back where I was, and then I'll go ahead and look at this SERP overview. Again, I make a spreadsheet and just pull it up so I have it. So when I look at the SERP, this is what the search engine is showing. Okay. Again, a lot of that same data, that we were already talking about is there. But when you look at the SERP, let's go look at it again. We will see that we have AdWords on the bottom, and we have some AdWords on the, that's it. We have AdWords at the bottom. But a week ago in this SERP, and it's disappeared because nobody's really been answering it, so hopefully we can push it back in. But we found that there are some popular questions, and it may not just be showing up because I'm not incognito at this point. But we see that there's these 3 questions that people are asking constantly, and those will appear in that SERP here. So if we go in, let me just see if I can get it to happen. And sometimes you'll have to manually go look at it. Yeah, people also ask. These are questions that need to be answered. Google thinks, we need to have this, this discussion. So we have our competitors, and the reason I make this list is later I will then put all of them together, all these URLs together, and find the uniques, and only pull out the unique keyword URL. And why I do that is, as you can see, here we have HVAC Services Orlando. Here we have Orlando AC Repair. So we see that URL at the end doesn't have that key. Some of them have the keyword and some of them don't. And that's kind of, if I had acrepairorlando.com, I'm going to pretty well almost rank number 1 right off the bat for a little while. So what we'll do is we'll do aitmechanical.com/AC Repair Orlando. And as you can see, there's the URL structure that we're going to build. And then what we do, and I'm sorry if I bounce around too much, but what we do is then we'll go in and we go through all of those key terms from this master list that we've put together. And we'll go through all of the key terms and get all, see who's at the top of the map, see who, and again, looking at that URL and finding out how many. So basically what I'm getting at, what I'm getting at is most of the websites all rank in the, your competitors rank with 1 page to all of these keywords. Okay. So basically what that tells us is we only need to build 1 super optimized, super powerful piece of content. We need to name it AC Repair Orlando. So that URL structure will look like, again, showing here, /AC-repair-Orlando. And we'll build that 1 page, hitting in, utilizing all these keywords, right? And then turn around, like I was showing you. We go in, we'll look at that SERP overview, and when we look at that SERP overview, we see the questions that we want to get, So like an AC Repair Orlando, we see that we have these 3 questions. So for content aspect of it, we are going to build this amazing page, right? And then we're going to write content for each one of those questions and answer them. Okay, why? Why do we want to do that? We want to do that because of the fact that this site, brand new, has no content. Okay, so if we start answering, right off the bat, answering the questions that Google wants answers to, we have a higher probability of pushing that domain authority up quicker because we're already catering to what Google wants. So I hope that wasn't too confusing there. But so anyways, like I was saying, we'll go through and we do an audit of each keyword that we see here. And what we came up with this piece of content, the monthly search volume is going to be around 2,500. And that's a good search volume for a local business because most local businesses aren't going to be able to handle 800 to 1,000 calls a month, especially right off the bat with this guy. So that all being said, the average click-through rate's 500. I think that can be higher as time goes, but and then the average cost per click is $28.08. So what our goal is to get with that one page that we were talking about, maybe 2 at the most, ranking number 1 on that top. Ranking number 1, of course, but at least on the first page. And at the end of the day, you'll spend a few $1,000s or what have you, and be getting the same value that this cost per click of $13,000, $14,000 per month. So again, my point being is we build that page, push it to the top by handling all these content ideas, taking care of that, writing content for that. And what I advise is making a YouTube video for that. So you make the YouTube video, we SEO it out, and then we'll take that content from that YouTube video and turn around and make a web page out of it and just a post. And then we're going to drip, what I call create micro post, all over these other platforms. So we're going to go on to our GMB, right? And excuse me, we're going to pull a niche little point out of that, 500, 400 words out of that, and we're going to post it in the GMB. We're going to turn around and we're going to post it on Facebook. We're going to post it on Twitter. We're going to post a photo of it on Instagram and have the content with Instagram. And then we're going to create this big post out of that one video and put it on the website. And that way, whenever we look down here, when we get down here, when we have keywords that we're ranking for, let me go here. And as you can see, these guys, they're ranking for 133 keywords. These guys are ranking for 35. So we're going to start building that ranking for those keywords. Now, all that being said, this again is helping push links toward that main page, and then also will gain links to the post from all the other social platforms. So you just build this tier of links by yourself. Now don't get me wrong, that's not going to push you up, but then you're going to have the option of people grabbing that, reposting it, and just start building what I call the domino effect of content and street cred. So that again is kind of the gist of what we're looking at we need to do. One of the things that we always put on my master spreadsheet here is Facebook, the YouTube channel, the Instagram channel, and they have a cute little they had something going pretty well with their YouTube channel. We looked at it and they got going, but what happened, pause that real quick, no content. So we got, even with these old old articles. We can bring them back to life just by writing some content in here. So, just going through looking at, the audit aspect of what's going on. And look at the Instagram. We got some followers, but we only had 23 posts. Got this started up pretty well, but we've got to stay, active. We got to stay, bottom line, we got to stay active. We got to keep posting once a week, twice a week, something like that, and that will help us get this social aspect out of the F range. We get the social aspect out of the F range. Most times, once we get that part done, we get the SEO aspect out of the F range right off the bat. So, my end of the day, just going through what my end day strategy is we write one big piece of content for AC Repair Orlando. We're going to have these key terms mixed in there, optimized properly. We have a software that we utilize that helps us optimize that. You can use, if you have a WordPress, you can simply use Rank Math or Yoast SEO or something like that to write that content, and it'll help you optimize it. But you want to optimize it for pretty much almost all of these words. Why? Because when you go to all of these words, you'll see, let's just use this one for example, Orlando Del Air. They use Orlando AC Repair for AC Repair Orlando. You go to air conditioning repair Orlando, again, Orlando AC Repair. So we can see over and over again, they're ranking a little lower for air conditioning Orlando, Florida, but it's Orlando AC Repair. And I'm just picking this one, not for any other reason. That's the first one that I saw. Again, Orlando AC Repair. And I can go through each one of them and show you that they're all the same. So that tells me that all we got to do is build one really strong page, and we can get into this Orlando AC Repair key term and just start pushing it to the top. And again, going back, in each one of those, as you can see here, AC Repair Orlando, we're seeing that it needs around 18. I think we can do it with less, but around 18. And that's just an average. Like I said, we look down here and we see that there's people down here that don't even have any backlinks coming to it. But they have keywords. So where do we get the keywords? Going back to that content. But let me get back here. So AC Repair Orlando, again, as you can see here, air conditioning repair Orlando, difficulty 16. And we can go look at that here. Let's go air conditioning repair Orlando, and let's look at it in HRES. So there's a little variation. Again, we're looking around 18 backlinks, and then we'll go to another big one here. And we'll go look at the AHRES of that. This is a little bit harder, a little harder key term. The reason being is somebody kind of got fetching the data. It's a little slow, but somebody got a little crazy, I guess, and they really got some backlinks going. Because if you go down in here again, that same key term, we got some guys down here, but this one Premier Air and Bob, these two guys really have some backlinks built to it, so when I go back and I look at that, we still see Del Air though, and using that same URL structure, but what do they got? 0 backlinks to it. So that being said, this number right here does not always mean that you need 49. But it's a good idea. You look at that, and then you look at how many keywords we got going for that website. So going back to the Orlando, the Del Air site, they have 0, but they're ranking for 132 keywords. So, if they would add some backlinks to this, it would most likely push them on up in that top structure there. But they're obviously they're happy with where they're sitting on it. So, but to start out with this being a new site, I look and I'm looking through here, and some of the big key search terms are only got a difficulty of 16. This is what we call low-hanging fruit, and I think even going down here to this 90, it's got a medium difficulty, but again, we were picking on that one. We finally have a different URL. Right, but what I found is some of these other companies are using the same URL to get this one. So again, my strategy at the end of the day for you guys, AIT Mechanical, is to go right in there and just focus on. Let me get some of these tabs closed out. I get to go in and where are we? There it is. Just 1 second. There we go. All right. So, my strategy for you guys at this point, looking at what I've seen, is, we've got to get, like I said, the listings going. We've got to get the reviews going. And we've got to get your social going. That's obvious. But mainly write one page of really good content, title it AC Repair Orlando, okay? And let it sit. And then we'll do some outreach and get some backlinks going toward it. And then from there, to get the content going, to make Google say, oh, wow, these guys are not only AC Repair Orlando, they're actually an active website. We go through and we answer all of these questions here. And like the way you do it is just get one of your technicians or yourself and sit down and have somebody do your secretary do an interview. How much does it cost to fix your AC? Boom. Now answer that. And obviously your first thing is, well, you really can't say. Well, yeah, I know, because it depends on what it is. So we go through and we try to answer those questions. So I hope that this helped somebody. I hope that AIT Mechanical, I hope you kind of understand where we're going with your strategy. Got to get that social media going. Got to get your reviews going on your GMB. Folks, don't forget on your GMB, use your Google My Business. Use all of it. You get a free website. You get the ability to post posts of your own. Use it all. Optimize it to its fullest. Use that free tool. But we need to get that GMB rolling, social platform, and get some tweaks done on the website, mainly post and getting that page built. But also, as we saw, we need to get some of these speed issues fixed. Folks, speed matters when it comes to SEO. It really does. You're going to always see this debate of, oh, no, it doesn't. It doesn't matter. This guy says it doesn't. This guy says it does. It does. Because bottom line is, if number one loads in, millisecond, and yours loads in 3 seconds, who's going to have more click through? Who's going to have more view? Because bottom line, as a viewer, I'm in a hurry. I want that to come up now. So speed matters, and because it helps with your bounce rate. It's going to help with your bounce rate. So all that being said, like I said, I hope that this was not too confusing and I didn't bounce around too much. This is my first time doing a live audit. Maybe next week I'm going to talk about a kitchen cabinet company, and we're going to look at theirs and we're going to do an audit there. I may do it a little bit more live. This one, like I said, I had already worked up, and I may do it more live next time. Kind of depends. Tell me what you think. If you like the way we did it here, then fine. If not, we can do it live and show you each single click and step. That will be a long video. I may only do it for a couple of the keywords, but let me know in the comments. Again, folks, please give me those. I guess you're supposed to have. We're supposed to have. I don't guess. I know. Like this video, share this video, subscribe to the channel. All of those cool, crazy things that we're supposed to do. Please do those things so that way. Not only will you see this, but your friends can see it, and we can help local businesses grow their marketing, online marketing process. Because at the end of the day, folks, there is enough business out there for all of us. So don't be stingy with what you know. And if this helped you, please follow. If you're in the Orlando area, we have an Orlando SEO group where I drop tips and tricks all the time in there, and that's where we're going to do the lives from. So if you see this and you're in the Orlando, Davenport, the big Central Florida bubble, that's where we're servicing right now. So if you see this, make sure you go and like the group, and I'll have that in the description as well. Again, I hope this wasn't too confusing. I hope I didn't bounce around too much. Let me know in the comments. You got any questions, let me know in the comments. Otherwise, y'all have a wonderful rest of your Saturday, and we'll see you next week talking about kitchen cabinetries. Have a blessed day.